Welcome back, everyone. In this lecture, we'll take a look at local histogram processing and how it is different from the global histogram processing that we saw in the previous lectures. And then we'll learn about logical operations on images like AND, or NOT operation, and what they essentially mean. And then we'll learn about arithmetic operations like subtraction and averaging. Okay, let's learn. The histogram equalization techniques, which we discussed in the previous two lectures, uh, were basically applied on the entire image. That means they were global histogram processing. But in some applications, it would be more useful to have a smaller window of operation. Instead of operating on the entire image, we'll operate on a smaller region or a smaller neighborhood. So that is what we do in this local histogram processing. So we define a neighborhood and move its center from pixel to pixel. At each location, the histogram of the points in the neighborhood is computed. Either histogram equalization or histogram specification transformation function is obtained for that neighborhood. And then we map the intensity of the pixel centered in the neighborhood, and then move to the next location and repeat the procedure. So basically, local histogram equalization means we are performing histogram equalization in a small neighborhood. Let us understand it by looking at this example. Here we have an image with 5 black squares, uh, 4 at the corner and 1 in the middle. Now this is a fairly simple image to look at. It has a white and a black area. Uh, but if you equalize this image, what you get is something like this. You get this graininess or patchiness in the resultant image, which we don't want. Okay, we want enhancement or histogram equalization process to render a good looking image, but here it has put something unwanted. And if you uh, go for local histogram equalization with 7 cross 7 neighborhood, this is the result. Still you get this graininess, but still it's somewhat better than the histogram equalization. So this is a context. Let us consider one more example. So if you increase the brightness of your screen, and if you observe, you can see a pattern within this black square. There's a square, white square, and there is a line, okay, diagonal line, and there is a alphabet A inside this, and some lines and some one circle here. Now, if you perform global equalization, the result will be like this. Again, there is not much of an enhancement. Uh, uh, it has basically put unwanted patterns also in between. Now, let us apply 3 cross 3 neighborhood, a histogram on a 3 cross 3 neighborhood, and this will be the result. You can clearly make out the patterns inside this black area. Okay, so that part is enhanced. So this has helped in bringing out those hidden patterns, so enhancing those regions. Okay, so this is the use of local histogram processing. We can also use statistical parameters such as mean, variance of local area for image enhancement. Let us consider this example of tungsten filament. Okay, this pic has been taken using an electron microscope. So you can see a filament in the foreground, and it is quite clear. It's bright, and you can make out all the textures or patterns in it. But in the background, you can also make out a filament, another filament in the background. So you want to enhance this darker looking filament, which is very difficult to make out. okay, because the foreground is quite bright and background is quite dark, and uh, yeah, you need to really strain your eyes to see what's there in the background. So now let us try to improve the background filament. You cannot simply increase the brightness of the overall image, because that will make this foreground much brighter. So you have to find a technique in which only this background image brightness is increased while retaining the foreground. So so we cannot increase the brightness of the whole image, since the white filament will be too bright. Okay, so that's why we should find some other innovative techniques. Let's explore how to do that using histogram statistics. So in order to enhance the tungsten filament image, we can use this relationship. Uh, so we consider the local average intensity MS of xy, MSXY. If it is less than or equal to K naught mg, mg is the global mean, and K1 dg, dg is the global standard deviation, is less than or equal to the local variance, sigma of S of xy less than or equal to K2 into mg. Essentially, this means sigma S of xy lying between K1 dg to K2 mg. Okay, mg is the global mean and dg is the global standard deviation. And K0, K1 and K2 and even E are chosen in order to get appropriate results. So for this tungsten filament example, E is chosen as 4, and K0 is chosen as 0.4, K2 is chosen as 0.4, and K1 is chosen as 0.02. So it's basically a trial and error till we get the satisfactory result. So this is what's happening here. So this is the original image. We have the local variance image here. Okay, so this is the display of the variance image, and when you multiply it with this factor E, this will be the result. Only the pixels which falls under this criteria are multiplied with the factor E. So only that particular area is targeted, so that is getting enhanced. Okay, so this is the output image. When we combine all those things, so this is the foreground which is intact. We didn't touch it. Only this background portion is enhanced. If you compare it with the original image, you can see the difference. Original, it is a bit darker. Okay, and here it's almost very difficult to make out what's there. But here it's quite clear. Okay, so this is the uh, use of histogram statistics. We can also perform logical operations on images. So this essentially means pixel values are processed as binary numbers. In this case, light represents a binary 1 and dark represents a binary 0. And NOT operation is basically a negative transformation, which we studied in the previous lectures. Let us understand the logical operations and how we can use them for certain applications. First up is the AND operation, and you can see this is the background, uh, black, okay, and this is the foreground, okay. I can write it as foreground F. So what happens here is this black area is full of zeros, and white means it is 1. Okay, now anything if you AND with 0 will be a 0, so that will become black pixel. And for ANDing with 1, so if it is 1, the output will be 1. If it is 0, output will be 0. Okay, as simple as that. So if you put this mask on this input image, put this this is the image mask. Okay, so this is image mask, and if you put this on the input image, okay, original image, the result will be like this. Okay, now you can see only this area is getting selected and represented in the output. Okay, and all the remaining area is basically black. That means it is 0. Okay, uh, and within the region of interest here, you can see there is a gray area also. So whatever was there in the original image is represented here in this uh, rectangle. Now, if you perform OR operation using this mask with the ones in the background and zeros in the foreground, like this. So this is the OR operation. Now, what happens here is anything ORing with ones here will become 1 in the output image. Okay, and anything ORing with 0, so okay, if 1 you OR with 0, it will remain as 1, 0 will remain as 0. So the output will be like this. So here the background is 1 and the foreground is original image. Okay, so this is the difference between and OR operation. So you can clearly see in the AND operation, the background or the remaining area after you perform AND operation stayed black, and in the OR operation the remaining area became white. Okay, so this is the difference between and OR operator. So we can use it for cropping the areas of interest or regions of interest. Another type of operators that we can use to enhance the image is arithmetic operator or arithmetic operations. So first type is the subtraction. So basically we take the difference between two images. So f of xy is the input image and h of xy is the mask image. Okay, so we can express this as g of xy equal to f of xy minus h of xy. And the key usefulness in is the enhancement of the differences. So basically we are enhancing the difference between these two images or original image and the mask. Whatever difference we get, that is basically enhanced. And we use this in particular, okay, for mask mode radiography. Okay, we'll see the example in the next slide. So let us see the application of subtraction. So this is the original input image, 8-bit fractal image, and if you set the 4 lower order bit planes to 0, you will obtain this image. Okay, so what's happening here is you have 8-bit original image here, and in that 8-bit you are essentially making the last 4 bits, last means LSB 4 bits, as 0, and this is the image that you get. For a human observer, it's very difficult to make the difference between the two. It looks similar. Okay, now if you perform the subtraction, and this is the resultant image. Okay, it looks darker, but this is what we get. Now in order to enhance this difference, means if you want to make out what exactly is the difference more clearly, you can perform histogram equalization, and this will be the error image. Okay, after you perform histogram equalization. So this much of detail is missing in this image. Okay, where we have set the last 4 bits as 0. Okay, but it's very difficult to make out by looking at this image. It looks similar. Okay, but this much of data is missing. So we can use this technique for error measurement. One of the most popular methods of image subtraction is in the field of mask mode uh, radiography in angiography work. So here, this is the top down view of a spinal cord. Okay, X-ray of a spinal cord, and this is the image obtained after injecting the uh, iodine contrast medium, and then taking the difference image. And you can see the white areas in the original image have essentially been turned into black area. This is because the similarities in the original and the masked output image will be made as darker. Okay, similarities or same values will be turned into dark because we are subtracting. So that essentially renders a value of 0 or close to 0. So any difference will be highlighted. So if the original image had a white area and the or the after masking it renders a black area, then we are just taking the difference, and that part will be highlighted. So it shows the blood vessels which are there in the spinal cord. Okay. Next, one more popular application is in this angiogram of the heart, and you can see you can actually get a live video of what's happening. Okay, just insert the uh, contrast medium, and you can see the blood flowing through the veins, and you can make out where there is a clot or not. Okay, so this is one use of arithmetic subtraction. Another type of arithmetic operation that we can perform on images is the averaging operator, image averaging. So here what we have is a noisy image or a set of it. So uh, the noisy image is given by the equation g of xy is equal to f of xy plus this noise function n of xy. So this is the noise here. Now what we do is basically we average k different noisy images. So g dash of xy is equal to 1 by k into summation gi of xy. So here I varies from 1 to k. So where k is the number of noisy images that we are using for averaging. Okay. So just add them up and divide by the number of images. You will get the uh, 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 averaged image, which in a sense is having less noise. So as k increases, the variability of the pixel values at each location decreases. This means that g dash of xy approaches f of xy as the number of noisy images used in the averaging process increases. Registering of the image is necessary to avoid blurring in the output image. So the registering means basically assigning a coordinate value for a particular point in image, like we need the reference point in image so that we can align all the averaged images. Without registering, all the process will be a total waste. So let us understand this image averaging with the help of an example. So basically we use the image averaging for noise reduction. So what we have is a degraded image with a noise added. Okay, so this is the noise, and we are performing image averaging on k images. Okay, so k is the number of noisy images that we are using for this averaging. So averaging results in reduction of noise variance. Okay, so noise variance is reduced by performing the image averaging. So let us see the effect of this. So this is the original image taken by the NASA of a galaxy, and so this is the noisy image, one uh, such noisy image. Okay, so this noise. So if you take 8 such noisy images and take the average of it, this is the enhanced image that you can see. And if you increase the number of noisy image samples to 16 and then average and take the final image, this is the result. And if you use 64 noise samples, bit more enhancement. And if you use 128 noise samples, it's somewhat or it's like it's much closer to the original image. And in practical scenarios, there could be thousands of images which are averaged and added together. So it looks like uh, a simple process when you think of it, but in reality, the space objects are constantly on the move. The orientation or they change the distance, their angles. So you need to align them. Okay, so basically registration is very important before you perform averaging function. Okay, so if you are interested, you can search for YouTube videos on this topic. Okay, image averaging, how it is done in space applications. It's a quite complicated process, and because of it, we get a nice view of the outside world. Okay. So in this lecture, we have looked at local histogram processing, and we have seen the logical operation and the arithmetic operations on images like subtraction, and averaging. So in the next lecture, we'll learn about spatial domain filtering, which is a very important concept for your course. Okay, see you at the next lecture. Thank you.